Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another new pick a card reading for you guys. This one is your November 2019 prediction. So this is all about the month of November for you guys. And if you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown of how it works. So this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, and this is pile number 4. So you can pause the video if you'd like to find out the pile that you're the most drawn towards. If you guys like to pick with crystals, we'll be putting crystals on them in a moment. But once you guys are done picking your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's linked to your specific card so that you guys can skip ahead right to your personal November 2019 reading. So without further ado, let's pop the crystals on these cards, starting now. Alright, so if you guys like to pick with crystals, here are our crystal options. So we have some rainbow moonstone over here. This is bismuth, this is pyrite, and this right here is some danbarite. So pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you're the most drawn to. Without further ado, let's hop right into it, starting now. Alright, so pile number 1, our rainbow moonstone pile. Let's see what is in store for you in November of 2019. Alright, so pile number 1, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off with the 7 of crystals here, then we have the magician, the 4 of crystals, and the 9 of crystals. So crystals actually just mean the pentacles in this deck. They're just known as the crystals. And so the fact that you guys have just like all pentacle kind of energy for the month of November, this is really pointing towards the fact that you guys are going to be more focused on money and career than anything else in this month. But the fact that there's also the magician means that your focus is kind of like everywhere, but November is more of the month of like bringing in more money, focusing on career. The fact that we have the 7 of crystals here means that you are like planning for something big. You are kind of like shifting your ideas and like really trying to think about what you want and how to manifest something that's even bigger than what you currently have. And so there's kind of like ideas flowing right now of how you can expand right now in money and career specifically. When we have the magician, this is kind of like you have all of the things right in front of you to finally like do what you want to do, and it's just about taking the action in the month of November. But it's kind of like the 7 of crystals is more of like waiting for the right moment and like seeing what you have accumulated so far and thinking about how can I grow this even more. And so the month of November is kind of going to be looking at those types of things for you guys. Then we also have the 4 of crystals right here, which can kind of indicate like investing in something or like putting money aside to really start something that you've really wanted to do, or kind of like saving up for something and waiting for like the perfect moment. But I'm feeling more of like you guys are going to be really investing in your future in the month of November somehow, really trying to like save your resources to prepare for something. This could also be a month where you feel like money might be a little bit tight, but it's because of the fact that you guys are really focused on like finally saving and growing and doing some sort of like financial planning. I do see you guys like finally getting into more of like a maybe like sorting out your finances types of things in the month of November, and like figuring out how can I save, how can I afford to do this. There's a lot of big dreams happening, but it requires like the saving of resources in order to make it happen. Then we also have the 9 of crystals right here, which is like, I feel like at the end of November, somehow you're going to have saved quite a bit. I feel like there's a lot of like financial planning in the beginning of November for you guys, and at the very end of it, you're gonna feel like you're on the next plateau of like, okay, I did it, I saved a lot, I'm feeling a lot better. So by the end of November, you guys are going to feel like you've saved quite a bit and have been able to put lots of money away for like savings and stuff like that. For some reason, I'm really getting those vibes for you guys that it's like the month of November is almost like not necessarily putting restrictions on yourself to save, but it's like finally making a plan and seeing where your money's going and being like, okay, I need to like actually do something about this and like start saving. And by the end of November, you're gonna like be completely prepared to do whatever you're planning. I feel like there's some kind of like either big investment that you guys are planning for. Maybe you guys are going to buy some like new things that are going to help you career-wise, or you guys are saving up for like a new place to live, or you guys are saving up for school, or you guys are saving up for like some sort of personal thing or like whatever. The month of November, you guys are going to complete that goal, and by the end of November, it's going to be like, yes, I've done it, and it's time to move forward in whatever you guys are planning to do. We also have the card here of divinity, and so this is like, you guys are like almost unlocking the key. As you can see, there's kind of like a key sort of symbol on this card. And this is kind of like coming from the divine. This is like an idea coming in. This is like unlocking your future. And so whatever you guys are planning in the month of November is like here to unlock something in your guys' future. It's here to like open new doors for you. And whatever you're doing, whatever you're investing in, this is like more of a monetary investment, but it could be investments in other areas as well, like investing your time into something specifically, things like this. But whatever you guys are investing in right now, it's literally unlocking new doors for you that are going to really pay off in the future, especially when we have the 9 of crystals here as well, talking about the end of the month. This is like you guys are really opening up doors for yourselves and like doing all the right things in November to unlock like a new future for you guys. We also have the card here of get creative and share wisdom. And so also when we have this like divinity card, when it has like this sort of key symbol on it, that is also about like unlocking new wisdom, unlocking new knowledge. So I feel like you guys are going to get a lot of epiphanies in the month of November about exactly what you guys need to do in your future, or like epiphanies of like questions that you've been wondering, something that you've been like trying to decide on, or like a big choice that you guys have to make. And another thing that makes me think that is we have another card here that says fork in the road. So this is talking about a choice. I feel like you guys are going to unlock the answer to a big choice that you guys have been wanting to make. And this is kind of like talking it through. The share wisdom card is making me feel like this is something that you need to talk through with another person. This is like a big choice that you guys need to make. So it might be a personal choice, but you end up talking to somebody else about it, and it helps you see a bit more clearly because they're sharing their experience and their wisdom with you, and it helps you make this choice, and it kind of like unlocks some sort of answer for you guys. Or this is like talking to another person, somebody that you need to make a choice with, something like this. But I feel like there's a big choice that needs to be made in your life, and you're going to like unlock the perfect answer in the month of November for you guys, and especially when it's around talking to friends or talking to a specific person that's in your life. And then with this get creative card, there's a lot of different ideas that are coming to you. This is also like unlocking some deeper creativity for you guys. So if you've been feeling stuck in the past, if you've been feeling like I really want to do something, but it feels like there's like a missing piece, this is like a missing piece really coming together for you guys in the month of November. There's some sort of like missing thing, and it's really just like you're unlocking whatever that missing thing is for you guys. The next few cards that we have here is Artist, Rebel, and Virgin. So with the Artist card, again, you guys are going to be kind of like unlocking this more creative side of your mind and helping like find answers that you weren't able to like find before. And this is like, again, like unlocking like a new higher part of yourself, like a newer higher creativity where you guys get some sort of idea that again kind of fills this missing piece for you guys. Also with this Rebel card, there might be again that like fork in the road. There might be this big choice, and you guys might have to feel like there might be a feeling of not wanting to go against like what you've been taught or how you've been raised, and there might be a part of you that knows that you need to go against how you've been raised and like almost accept a new part of yourself, unlock like a new door that you haven't really unlocked before. So this is going down a road that you've probably never gone down before because you're unlocking this new door in the month of November, and you're going to be going down a road that you've never thought you would have before, especially when we have this Rebel card. This is something that is out of like, it's not something you would normally do. And when you tell people about it, people might be like, wait, what? That's new for you, that's different. And so there's like this rebelistic quality when you guys unlock this new sort of path and you make this new choice. It's a little bit off the beaten path for you normally, but it's unlocking the new you. It's unlocking like a new section of yourself that you've never explored before that you're supposed to go and explore. Then we also have the card here of Virgin. And so this is really talking about, again, there's this new area that you've never been before. There's this new area of yourself that's untouched. It's new. No one's ever gone there before. Well, at least you haven't. And you're about to unlock this new window for yourself that you've never gone down before. Because Virgin is like, it hasn't been touched, it hasn't been unlocked yet. And again, we have this key right here. So it doesn't mean virgin literally, maybe it does for some of you, but there's this new key that just hasn't been unlocked. There's this road that you haven't gone down before that you're gonna get the opportunity to finally go there this month. And especially with this Rebel card that we also have, this is something that, again, it's probably not a road that you thought of going down before, and I don't see it being a bad road. So if you guys if there's this choice and this is sounding like you're taking the bad road, this is not the bad road. I just really want to make that clear. Like, this is a good road, especially since we have the moon in Cancer right here as the next cards. This is something that's like gonna unlock a new creative outlet for you guys, a new like sense of like love and deep connection, or like passion, stuff like that, because we have the moon in Cancer, which is all about using your intuition and feeling your gut feelings and knowing that this is the right place for you to go. So if you don't feel like this is the right place for you to go, don't go down that road. This is about making the choice and going down the road that you're being pulled to go down, and it feels good for you guys to go down it. Even though you never would have thought you would have been here before, you're here. And this is the right road for you to go down. So this Virgin card is really just signifying, not necessarily virgin, but just like a part of life that you've never explored yet before. And so now you're finally going to be going down a part of life that you've never walked down that path before, but you're going there this month. And then our last few cards, our last couple of cards, is Moon in Cancer. So these two cards really talk about using your intuition. There's going to be a lot of, like, again, choices, doors that you have to open, doors that you have to unlock, big questions that you have to ask yourself with this big choice and the fork in the road card that we have. This is really talking about, like, your intuition is going to be your best friend in the month of November. You might be having discussions with other people, sharing wisdom, stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, you know that this is your choice deep down inside, and it might feel a little bit strange, it might feel a little bit new, but again, you're unlocking those new doors in the month of November, and it's using deep intuition in order to go here, and it's unlocking emotions that you've probably never felt before, passions you've never felt before. Again, we have this Get Creative card, and so this is unlocking like a new, different creative thing that you've never felt before. This is emotions and passions that you've never felt before. So that's really what I'm seeing for you guys in the month of November. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number one. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, so pile number two, if you guys chose this pile, this is your November 2019 prediction. So let's hop right into what the future has in store for you in the month of November. All right, pile number two, so this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off with the moon. We have the Five of Swords, Justice, and those are our tarot cards. One really interesting thing that I'm noticing is we have the Justice card and the Liberator card. Those are very, very similar. And so somehow in the month of November, I'm really feeling like something is going on. It's probably going on with you guys right now, and somehow truth is going to be kind of like revealed in the month of November for you guys. When we have the moon, this always talks about some kind of like hidden stuff, things going behind your back. When we have the Five of Swords right next to it, this is kind of talking about maybe someone's not being fully honest with you. Somebody has something that they really want to tell you, and this is kind of like either some gossip going on or somebody like going behind your back with something. And I really don't want to sound negative, but this is just what's coming up in this pile. I don't ever like giving negative readings, and I know you guys don't like it either, but this is just what's coming up, and I just give honest readings. So this is what I'm saying. So with the moon, the Five of Swords, and Justice, Justice is a really good card to end on because it's talking about the truth is going to be like known for you guys. This could also be like a deeper truth, something that you're not seeing within yourself that's kind of like being revealed. And so it all ends in a positive thing. I do want to make that clear. This is ending in a positive note because we have the Justice and the Liberator card right here. But it kind of starts off on a different note, but that's fine. Life is never always all perfect. So there's always certain things, lessons that we need to learn that help us grow in beautiful ways. And so look at this as a beautiful thing. So there's something kind of like going on behind your back, something kind of unknown right now. But then with that Justice, again, that truth is being revealed. This is either like you putting your foot down and being like, hey, I need to know the true answers to this. I need to know how you truly feel. I need to know what's going on over here. Or this could be you finally confronting yourself with something as well. And it could also be that maybe you feel like something's going on and somehow you know you kind of like confront it and you find out that nothing's really going on to begin with, or you find out that everything is going on. And kind of it can go both ways. Again, it's a general reading, so I'm just kind of talking for anyone who's listening to this. We also have Air as our card next, and this talks about communication. So Air is all about communication, having conversations with people. So this is really putting your foot down and needing to communicate something, really needing to be honest with yourself about your feelings, how you're truly feeling, putting your foot down. I don't know why I keep seeing like put your foot down, like just say it how it is. There might be something that you guys feel like you need to go and say, maybe something that you are currently hiding from somebody that you know you need to like come out with and like really talk about. And so air talks about the communication. These are never like easy times. Sometimes when you have to talk about like the more harder things, it's a harder time. Kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? So with this air card, again, it's just reiterating the fact that there's going to be, this is a big like communication month. There might be some misunderstandings. Again, we're going into Mercury retrograde on October 31st, and Mercury's in retrograde until November 20th. And so Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet that rules communication because it's ruled by Gemini and Virgo. And so this is all about communication, and misunderstandings happen when Mercury is in retrograde. So during Mercury retrograde, lots of communication misunderstandings. So again, this could just be like a misunderstanding type thing happening, especially since we also have the Mercury card right here. This is kind of crazy, guys. We literally have the Mercury card, and Mercury is going to be retrograde for most of November. And so this is all about like communication misunderstandings, kind of like putting your foot down and really figuring out the truth behind certain things, especially since we also have Liberator right here. This is finally like you liberating yourself, your true feelings, and liberating other people by finally getting like the truth to be known in a certain circumstance. We also have the Magi right here. So this is all about like the Magician. This is kind of like you guys are going to be okay. You guys have everything you need in front of you to figure everything out. Everything is just going to, it's all in good workings behind the scenes. So I feel like once you guys get out of this situation, you're going to look back on it and be like, okay, that actually taught me a lot. I feel like you guys are going to be learning so much. The Magician is kind of like the teacher as well. So there could be like a huge lesson in this that you guys need to be aware of, and it's going to grow you as a person, and you're going to be much more aware, and it's like losing a bit of naivety, or like losing a bit of like maybe some like inhibitions of not wanting to fully communicate your true deepest feelings, or not wanting to confront people about their truest deepest feelings. And in the end, it's all about self-love, because we do have this self-love card. So you need to love yourself enough to know that you want the truth from other people, and you need to love yourself enough that you give yourself the gratitude of being able to share your truest deepest feelings with people and not feel the need to hide. And so the month of November is like a huge lesson around that for you guys. And then also we do have this card, the Damsel and the Hedonist. And so the Damsel, this might be like wanting to play the victim role or feeling like the victim in certain situations, but it's like you have everything you need in front of you to take control of the situation with the Magician right here. So this is teaching you how to take control of the situation, how to put your foot down, how to communicate your truest, deepest feelings, and how to get that from other people as well, and the respect enough for yourself to ask that from other people to tell you the truth, and then also respect enough for yourself to also give your truth as well. So it's kind of getting out of playing the victim role or getting out of like needing a savior and just saving yourself. It's learning how to really put your foot down and be your own leader and be your own caretaker and be your own liberator. And then also with this Hedonist card, this is like maybe someone taking advantage of you and you having to put your foot down and say like, no, I don't want to be taken advantage of anymore. Or it's you coming to realizations of your own qualities of maybe indulging too much in certain things. And so this can go two different ways. So either you're somebody who might indulge too much and like maybe take advantage or step on people's toes, or maybe even step on your own toes by always seeking pleasurable things at the expense of other people. But sometimes the hedonist is somebody that does that to you as well. So it's a two-way street. It could go either way. So it'll have to be kind of like a reflection on your part to find out where you're standing in this like puddle. We also have the card here of time to go. And so there might be somebody in your life or a situation in your life that you really need to like let go of. It's time to move past either this person or this situation or this circumstance that might be in your life, and it might have been in your life for some time, and you know that it's maybe not really the best, or it has some toxic qualities, or maybe it's time for you to let go of your own habits and tendencies as well. And it kind of like comes out through a lot of communication, since we do have Mercury right here, and then we also have the North Node, and so this deals a lot with destiny. So this deals with like, this is something you were supposed to go through, so please don't look at this as a bad thing. This is going to be like one of the biggest lessons of your life that helps you become the person that you need to be in order to be the most successful, most best person and most best version of yourself that you need to be. North Node always deals with this is pushing you towards where you're supposed to be and the destiny that you're supposed to fulfill. And no, your destiny is not going to be all like always having to seek justice and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But this is a lesson that helps build the character that you need to develop into in order to be who you need to be the best version of yourself. And so this is kind of like the lesson that's happening for you guys in November. And it's all surrounding communication and sharing your deepest feelings and also asking that of others. And this is about really communicating, listening to the other person, bettering your communication skills all around so that you can find justice and kind of like liberate yourself from kind of like hidden stuff or people going behind your back, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys in the month of November. It all ends on a really good note. I just want to say that one more time. This ends on such a good note of like, sorry guys. This ends on such a good note of self-love and magic happening. So I do really want to reiterate that one more time because I know some of you guys don't like the more like negative readings, and I don't want this to seem like a negative reading because it's leading to a really good place. I do want you guys to know that. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. All right, so pile number 3, if you guys chose this pile, this is going to be your November 2019 prediction. So let's find out what is in store for you in November of 2019. All right, pile number 3, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off with oppression, which is actually the devil in regular tarot. Then we have the King of Crystals, the 9 of Wands, and let's get into it. So starting off with the devil, this is kind of like dealing with being chained to something or feeling like you're stuck to something or feeling like you're bound by something or stuck in a pattern or stuck in something that's like not really serving your highest interest or highest good. When we have the King of Crystals, and this is basically just the King of Pentacles, this talks about you guys have like a big ambition. You guys know where you want to go. You have like a strong idea. You have a very strong willpower, but it's kind of like maybe you're feeling like you're chained to something and can't quite get to where you want to go, or you have like a big dream but you just feel kind of like repressed right now, or you feel like it can't happen right now for some reason. But with the 9 of Wands right here, this is talking about like this is finally the month of like preparing, and you know where you want to go, and this is finally like setting your sights where you want to go and having like a really strong idea and really strong motivation behind where you want to go. You might still feel like kind of chained to something at the beginning of the month, but I feel like in the month of November, this is finally like letting go of doubt, disbelief, doubt in yourself, self-criticism, being too critical over yourself, being addicted to something, a pattern, a cycle, feeling like you're chained to something or held back by something or stuck by a certain circumstance. This is finally like letting go of that in the month of November and setting your sights really high. Like your sights are so high in the month of November. Well, I feel like they have been for a long time actually. I feel like your sights have been high for a long time, but finally in November, I feel like you guys are waiting there like the 9 of Wands, and you're like, I'm gonna finally do this. And I feel like it's still sort of a stuck period because the 9 of Wands kind of talks about like you're still sort of on standby, but you guys are on standby because you're finally dropping the things that don't serve you in your life. You're finally letting go of those things that no longer serve you, which is negative mindsets, patterns, cycles, addictions, belief systems that hold you back. It's finally letting go of those and being like, okay, I'm setting my sights high, I'm keeping it there, and I'm like shedding the old skin. So I feel like for you guys who picked this pile, this is like shedding the old skin of who you were before and starting to step into the new self and starting to visualize what you really want and starting to move in that direction. We do also have guides right here, so I feel like this is something that you're almost feeling guided to do this, and I feel like you might have been feeling this for the past few months where you're just like, okay, I really need to change something in my life in order to get to where I want to go. There's a big change that's happening that you've been pondering about for like some time, and you're being guided in this direction. It's almost like a flow of water. This is happening regardless if you try or not to. You somehow feel so guided to doing this and to dropping these old things that no longer serve you and like going somewhere where you know life is going to be smoother this way when I let this go. And it's like preparing for the big things that are coming, and you're totally being guided there. We do also have this pillar card, and the pillar really talks about you're building the foundation of something that's going to last a long time. You're like building the foundation for your castle, and the castle is symbolic of like whatever dream that you guys have. There's like a big dream here, and I think it's mostly to do with career since it's the King of Crystals. This is mostly to do with career and money, but it could also be just like your entire future, because the crystals kind of like, they're like your whole life. They're everything. It's preparing for the long haul. And so the pillar is like you know that you need to set a solid foundation. You need to let go of certain things in your life and unchain yourself and let go of the shackles that are holding you back currently. And you know exactly what those are. And so the pillar, this is like, you know that you want to build the strongest foundation. You've been through a lot already to know that like having the old stuff in your life isn't going to help you build that strong foundation. It's not going to last if you don't let it go. So you're finally like, okay, I need to let those things go, old belief patterns, old things, old whatever, and finally building something so solid and so strong to hold up those big dreams of yours. We also do have the card here of versatility. And so in this card, we do have the mice here. And mice resemble versatility. They resemble like, you know, being able to... They're from like, you know, the kind of the underground. They're from the sewers, which is kind of almost like the oppression card, which is like the devil. So it's like you might have not come from the prettiest background, or you might have been letting go of some really ugly blah in your life. But because of that, you've learned how to make it through all of the gunk in life. And because of this, you're so much more versatile that when things happen to you, you know exactly how to work around these things. You know exactly how to get through them. You have enough life experience behind you to build something solid finally and to do it the right way, because you know you've been in the gutters. You've seen what it's like to be held back by things that don't serve you, and you're finally letting that go and making it through and almost like stepping out into the real world. Like if you think about mice, they know how to do anything. You put them in a box, they will get out of it. You put them anywhere, they know how to chew through anything. So this is almost like chewing your way through, and this is kind of sounding like really dark right now, but this is a positive thing. This is a positive thing, guys. You're so versatile now that nobody can cage you in, nobody can box you in. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody can put you in a cage anymore because you know how to get yourself out. You've been through it all. You've had to unshackle some gnarly chains before. So this is like, you've learned enough to like get exactly where you want to go. We do also have the martyr right here. And so this is like really maybe testing you because maybe you're so adamant on helping other people, and maybe that's something that you're chained to, is like always helping others and always putting others before you. But now it's finally like, I need to put myself first, and you're being guided in this direction to finally put yourself first. And it's a little bit of a weird road, and so I feel like it might have a little bit of a slow start, but you guys are headed in that direction to finally being able to focus on you and the big dreams that you have. And I feel like you guys are really going to attain them. And November is kind of like the transition month of being like, okay, letting go of the old stuff. I'm transitioning into focusing more on me. And again, I do feel like you're still going to be helping other people here and there, and I feel like they're going to in turn also help you. So it's a good thing that these people came into your life and that you've been helping all these other people, is because now they're so adamant on helping you achieve your goals as well. And I feel like they're going to be there by you in the long haul. We also have the child nature card. And so this is really talking about kind of like really focusing on the more childlike you, kind of bringing up your childhood dreams again, what you really want, getting in touch with your inner child, who you are naturally, which is why child nature came up. So this is like who you are naturally at the core, internally, on the inside. Who are you at the core? You might have like repressed that person for a little while. You might have repressed that child from dreaming because maybe you wanted to be a bit more practical, or maybe you took like a detour when you experienced life in some other direction for a little while, but now it's finally like, okay, what does the real me actually want? And it might take you back to a more creative time as well, especially since we also have the poet card right here. This is talking about maybe there's some sort of creative side of you that you really want to start to focus on. Poet is also, again, this is kind of like artistic in a way. This is getting a little bit creative with who you are. And this is also about really maybe even writing things down, writing down your manifestations that you want to create, or making a list, or making like a plan. Because poet, this is all about writing. And so I feel like you guys might do some sort of writing in November where you guys write down exactly what you want your life to be like and start heading in that direction. And then there's also kind of like, poetry is also very interesting. It's like, I also feel like you guys are going to look back on your life and see it as like a beautiful, like creative transition to where you're going right now. We also do have the card here of orphaned, and so this is finally like it's a lot like the Devil card. So this is finally like really letting go of the old things, and you might have to let go of a lot of people in your life. You might have to let go of a lot of toxic belief systems, and you might feel kind of singled out for a little while. You might feel like you're the only one going through this, or you might feel like, you know, you're leaving behind the old you and you're shedding so much skin and coming into this new self that maybe you feel very like, you feel so different that it might feel a little bit foreign for a little while. So in the month of November, there could be some foreign feelings coming up because you're shedding so much old stuff that the new self feels a little bit different from before, and you might feel a little bit lonely, or it might feel a little bit like awkward or different, and you might feel at times of like running back to the old self because of comfort, because it's something that's known to you. But I feel like you guys are on the real transition where you guys might get tempted to go back sometimes to the old ways of your life, but you're going to be like, okay, no, I know where I'm headed and I'm going through this. We also have Scorpio and Gemini. So it makes sense that you guys are going through this in Scorpio season because it's Scorpio season right now. Most of the first like half and then some of November is Scorpio season. So before we move into Sagittarius. So this is all about kind of like digging to the under depths and kind of like revealing all of the old stuff and like having it all come up so that you can just go, goodbye. New transition, new life, rebirth, renewal type of energy. And so the month of November for you guys is going to be all about that. And we also have the Gemini card right here. So this is finally like seeing the two different sides of you, seeing like who you really are and the self that you've been for the past little while, which I don't think is actually who you truly are. It's not as connected as you might think it is. So it's finally like shedding that old self, letting that other twin go, and finally stepping into who you truly are. It might be making some choices, letting go of certain people in your life, also having some deep conversations, some deep thoughts, some deep thinking, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 3 for the month of November. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. All right, so our last pile number 4. Let's see what's in store for you in November of 2019. All right, so pile number 4, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. So we start off with the Empress, then we have Perspective, which is basically the Judgment card in regular tarot. Then we also have the Three of Wands. So this is really kind of making me feel like there's something that you guys are going to be letting go of, or there's something that you're going to really be focused on and wanting to change in the month of November. And I feel like this is around the workplace when I look at a couple of the other cards that are in here. So we do have the Earth card, which usually deals with career or money, the material world, things like that. So this could be like either changing up your actual home, changing up some sort of material things in your life, the things that you own, stuff like that, or changing up your literal career, or making like some new money choices in your life. Pretty much every pile so far has been more about like career and stuff than anything else, and that's kind of crazy. So I guess everyone's kind of going through some more like Pentacle Earth sort of like changes in the month of November. But with this Empress card, this is kind of like birthing some new ideas. This can also be literal like fertility as well in the month of November, because the Empress can sometimes mean that once in a while. But for the most part, this is like, in this reading, this is really pointing towards more of like new ideas, wanting to take care of certain things, wanting to reach a higher level, wanting to be treated a certain way, wanting to kind of like get to the next level as well, kind of have like a rebirth, a renewal. The Three of Wands here is really making me think of like you guys are looking out on the horizon for something new. You're waiting for like a new change. You're thinking about doing some sort of change. And this is like, again, like a change in the material world. So this is kind of like career or money or your actual home or something material in your life. You're looking for kind of like a renewal, some sort of change here. With this Patience card, this is something that maybe you've been thinking about for a while. This is something that might be in the back of your mind constantly about either changing careers or having like a big discussion in your workplace about, you know, what you truly want out of your job, things like that. With this Reclaim card that we have next, this is really talking about like there's maybe you've been like putting this on the back burner. You've been putting this on hold for a little while, this like change that you've been kind of seeking. And this is finally time for you guys to reclaim who you really are, reclaim what you deserve and what you know you want and what you want in life, where you're headed. And you're finally gonna almost reach a point where you're like, okay guys, I've been looking at this for so long, I need to say something. This is something that's been building up for some time. And with this TikTok clock that we have next, we also have this Patience card. So this is like, you guys are like, the time is up. The time is here for this big change to happen. It's finally like, okay, it's either now or never type of feeling. And I feel like you guys, you know, this is something it's not new. This has been something that I feel like you guys have been thinking of for a while, or it's at least been in the back of your mind coming up once in a while. And finally in November, it's like the pop goes off and you guys are like, okay, change is happening. Change is coming. We're doing something. The king is kind of like stepping up. And so we have the empress and the king. So this is kind of huge. This is finally like really, again, reclaim. The cat's wearing a crown in this card. This is really like taking ownership of who you are, where you want your life to go, and what you desire, and finally being like, okay, I'm going to start leading this. I'm going to start leading the ship. I'm going to start leading the ship of my own life. I'm going to come forward, say the things that I want to say, make the changes that I want to make, and they're happening. I don't care what you guys think. This is kind of like the energy that's coming up in the month of November for you guys, is finally like stepping into your queenness or your kingness and being like, hey guys, this is me. This is what I actually want. This is what I feel like I deserve. This is why I am making these changes finally. This has been something that's on the back of my mind. This is finally happening. We're finally doing something about it. So I feel like, again, in the month of November, some big changes happening, especially since we also have the card of the 8th house right here. This signifies major change. Anytime we have the 8th house, and it's funny, it's also Scorpio season in the month of November, which is the ruler of the 8th house. Scorpio is the ruler of the 8th house, which deals with major change happening, huge transformations. The Scorpio rules massive transformation, kind of like, you know, going into the hidden depths, going to places we don't really want to go. And so maybe you're going to have to bring up certain conversations that might be uncomfortable, things that you've been thinking about for a while, really digging deep into what you truly want and having to come forward with it. It might make some people uncomfortable and it might make you uncomfortable, but it's like, okay, it needs to happen. And the fact that we also have the 6th house right here makes me feel like it's in the workplace because it's ruled by Virgo. And so this, again, this could be about yourself. This could be about wanting children, having a conversation with your partner about, hey, like, I actually want this, or like, because Virgos are also the Virgin, and the fact that we have the Empress, which is a pregnant lady, it might be conversations around this. It could also be conversations around, again, your workplace or like domestic stuff around the home of like, okay, honey, we need to start like doing things this way. This is the new plan. This is the new pattern that's coming. And then the fact that we also have the pioneer, this is finally like, these are new ideas. This is like a new shift that's coming into your life. This isn't something that maybe you've done before. This is something new. Again, it's been on the back of your mind probably for a little while now, but this is like, you have the new ideas. The Empress rules birthing new ideas. Pioneer obviously rules birthing new ideas and being like the first to do something. And so this is finally like, you want to make a change. And guess what? That change is coming because the 8th house, major change. Plus it's Scorpio season, so it honestly makes sense. Scorpio's been coming up a lot in these card readings. Same with the like earth energy, and Scorpio is basically the entire energy of this entire everyone. All the cards are like all about that. It's crazy. Anyway, we also have the card here of the beggar. And so this is kind of like, this has been like gnawing away at you, wanting some sort of change, and it's finally like, okay, I'm going to step forward and I'm going to do it. The beggar kind of like, you know, this is almost giving me the feeling, I don't feel like you guys are going to be begging for change, but I feel like it's like you almost kind of demand it. And you don't really want to come from a beggar standpoint. This is finally stepping into, again, your queenness or your kingness. The fact that we have those other two cards, it's finally like, okay, I got to make the change that I'm wanting to make. And so, yeah, and so even this card, it says, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. So this is finally like, okay, I deserve this. I really want this. This is what I want. And so it's almost like you have to ask for this. You're probably going to have to talk to other people about making this change, because I feel like there's other people probably involved in this, especially if it's in your workplace. Of course, you're going to have to probably talk to other people about this change that you're wanting to make. Or if it's in your home, in your domestic life, if you live with another person, this is going to be about talking to them about this sort of thing, or talking to a spouse or partner of yours about a certain change that you're wanting to make and wanting to create in your life. So I feel like November is kind of all around these things, and it's kind of reclaiming, again, your authority in the month of November to create these changes. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys in the month of November. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.